Parents, teachers, caregivers, listen to me now and hear me loud, because this might be the most important wake-up call you didn't know you needed. If your child can't lose without a meltdown, if every game has to end in their victory and every disagreement must bend to their will, you're not just dealing with a strong-willed kid. You might be nurturing a narcissist in training. Confidence is healthy, pride is normal. But when your child believes they must win at all costs, when they crumble at criticism or can't handle a moment out of the spotlight, what you're seeing isn't self-esteem, it's ego dependency. And it's dangerous because every time we rush to protect them from discomfort, every time we whisper, you should have won, or they just don't understand you, we are building a bubble. And one day that bubble will pop. Because a child who isn't allowed to lose will grow into an adult who doesn't know how to learn. But it doesn't stop there. When a child expects yes every time they ask, when no becomes a personal attack, that's not boldness, that's entitlement. And entitlement is not cute, it's not clever, it's a character killer. A narcissistic child doesn't think they're equal, they think they're superior. They don't want opportunity, they want advantage. Why? Because we made everything easy. We gave without patience, we rewarded without work. We praised the result, not the effort. And now they believe life should hand them success, applause, love, without ever earning it. If we don't break that belief, it will break them. And hear this, because this part is everything. Empathy is not a bonus trait, it's the foundation of humanity. If your child laughs when others cry, if they struggle to say sorry, if they can't recognize someone else's pain, it's not because they're tough. It's because we've forgotten to teach them to feel. Empathy isn't genetic, it's modeled. It's built in the small moments, how we talk about people, how we handle anger, how we respond to their mistakes. A child learns compassion by watching us. So when we dismiss their cruelty as just joking or brush off their coldness as being honest, a child learns compassion by watching us. So when we dismiss their cruelty as just joking or brush off their coldness, it's on us. It's not us. It's their innate. We are letting the seeds of narcissism grow deep, and they won't just outgrow it, they'll become it. Because a child who can't see others becomes an adult who doesn't care who they hurt. And what happens when they're finally held accountable? They'll play the victim over and over. If your child is always the hero of the story and everyone else is to blame, that's not confidence. That's emotional manipulation forming. Narcissists don't take responsibility. They rewrite the script. Failed test, bad teacher. Broken rule, unfair system, lost friendship, everyone's just jealous. Let me tell you, when a child learns to dodge every consequence, they don't feel safer. They feel invincible. And that invincibility becomes a wall they hide behind. But truth will always knock it down. And when it does, they'll either learn accountability or become masters of denial. That choice starts with us. And here's the final blow. If your child only feels loved when they're praised, only feels special when they're better than someone else, you are not growing confidence, you're growing fragile superiority. We've been sold a lie that more praise equals more self-worth. But that's not true. The wrong kind of praise creates performance addiction. They learn, I am lovable when I'm the best. I matter when I win. I belong only if I impress. And when they fail, when the applause stops, so does their sense of identity. That's how we lose them. That's how we raise a child who needs to be admired but never really feels seen. Because the moment your child believes they are only as good as their latest achievement, the moment your child believes they are only as good as their latest achievement, they start performing, not living. They start chasing validation, not purpose. They start asking, am I enough? Even when they're doing everything right. You don't see it at first. It hides behind straight A's, behind trophies, behind Instagram smiles and perfect grades. But deep down, that child is terrified. Because when love feels earned, not given, it doesn't make them stronger. It makes them desperate for approval, addicted to being liked, and willing to bend, lie, cheat, and manipulate just to keep feeling special. This isn't confidence. This is conditional self-worth, a trap, a prison with golden bars. And we build it with every you're so smart, but never you worked so hard. With every you're better than them, but never you should be proud of your effort, no matter the result. We think we're building them up, but we're making them hollow. And what do hollow kids do when they feel insecure? They reach for control. They dominate conversations. They put others down to stand taller. They seek attention, not connection. And when they don't get it, they explode or implode. Because when a child feels loved only when they perform, you stop saying, I'm proud because you won, and start saying, I'm proud because you showed up, because you tried, because you didn't quit when it got hard. That's how you raise a child who can stand tall without applause. We've got to flip the script. Praise the process, not just the result. Celebrate effort, not just perfection. Show them that love isn't a reward for performance, it's the baseline of their identity. Start catching them doing right when no one's watching. I saw how you helped your brother when he was upset. I noticed you kept working even when it was frustrating. I loved the way you were kind even when it wasn't easy. Make it specific. Make it about who they are becoming, not what they've achieved. Because when a child hears you are worthy, even when you fail, they start believing, I don't need to perform to be loved. And when they believe that, they no longer seek control. They seek connection. They no longer tear others down, they lift others up. Because when your child knows they are enough just as they are, so if you want to raise a strong child, don't just cheer the victories. Stand beside them in the failures. Show them love that doesn't waver. Teach them that being human matters more than being perfect. Because in a world full of loud egos and shallow praise, raise the child who doesn't need a spotlight to shine. Raise the child who knows I am enough